we say? It's this something about
genocide.
This is rock and roll. Welcome to genocide.
Yeah. Byrne, baby.
Yeah.
You're right. This didn't mess with the audio at all.
No, it's nice, isn't it?
It's about time. Now I can finally speak.
Think of all the delightful gray areas we can venture into in terms of copyright. Speaking of, Iman, if you're listening, you know the deal. This is Bowiesplaining.
She's aware.
I'm Dan. That's Eric. This is where we talk
she
about
knows.
The music that the only music that you listen to around the house, because that's what widows do.
Yeah.
Just staring at a picture of him and listening to nothing but his music and not moving on at all. Sorry, Bowie fans. I know I probably angered some of you, but whatever.
Did you know that Ava Cherry is in the community? You probably know.
Are you serious?
Vic, our friend of the show.
Wait, Ava, not our community, like the community.
The community.
Okay.
Yes, not our community.
Okay.
Well, our community is precisely 3 people.
I was aware. In what capacity is she? She just hangs out, right?
She's a friend of a friend.
Oh, is she a friend of that friend?
That friend knows that friend. And last night, that friend said that if she met Ava Cherry on the street, she would know who she is and would say hello.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Maybe we need to have Ava Cherry on to talk about something completely not related.
Just about disco.
Completely.
No Bowie.
All right. It's been a while. Sorry.
Has it?
I don't know what else to say.
We record all these episodes. These episodes were recorded in 1987.
Yes, they were recorded pre-pandemic.
The Bush pandemic. I don't know.
Pre-pandemic. Oh God. Okay. Everybody, you need to eat before you do a podcast. That's what we're learning today.
Oh, is that what's going on here? Oh, it's so much white on
I'll
the screen.
Eat while we do podcast, but no, it didn't happen. Everyone, just make sure you're taking care of yourselves. All right. So we finished off last. That is very bright. Your face is illuminated.
I'm whiter now. Thank you, Dan.
Hold on. No, that's fine.
Yep, keep it white.
We're going in that direction.
I have to turn on more lights. I might need a tan.
Right. So the reason we're talking about this is in my profound procrastination, decided trying to make these notes into slides will just add to the delay. And besides, we're going into a place where we are going to do all sorts of video stuff, most likely, I hope, that we can do for our patrons. Not us like dancing around or anything, doing TikTok dances, but I mean, it's not off the table. It'd be more like just us watching Bowie-related videos. This is the time period where he started doing TV appearances. Actual music videos are happening. And, of course, also what I realized yesterday and almost texted you about, Eric, was we, after this episode, will have the man who fell to Earth unlocked as an achievement for us to watch.
Oh, now is the time. Okay.
Yes.
That was the best time of our lives.
Well, just wait till we watch the movie and then we'll see if you still feel the same way. Should we just jump in or what? How do we do this show? I don't remember.
Well, side A is where we talk about the folks.
Good job.
And the people, and then side B is when we talk about the music and the folks.
Oh no.
Oh, Dan.
It's a Diet Dr. Pepper. An empty one fell on the floor.
Oh no, not an empty Dr. Pepper.
Doctor down, doctor down. Also, another fun part that people seem to really enjoy is my creaky chair. Um, I
I'm
will
not
be
hearing
eating.
it. I only hear it on the recordings.
That's funny. Um, Also, when it comes to side A, I will try not to go into professor mode. That's hard for me because that's a very natural
He is a
place.
professor.
I sure am. And
Dr. Dan,
then
we call him.
side B comes around, and Eric will basically just basically try to make me shut up while he gets his his thoughts out. And then
Hang
I will...
on. Which Tony are we talking about?
Right. So we left off with David Live, which was the David Live tour.
I enjoyed, yes.
It isn't. I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it more
I
when we talked about it than I did when I listened to it.
Me too, but I also enjoyed it this time around a lot more with, I don't know. I don't want to say that I didn't know the history going in the first few times around or anything like that, but I think the approaching it from the point of view of possibly someone else approaching it for the first time has been really fun for me.
Yeah.
So it sort of unlocks little things that I probably wouldn't have noticed otherwise.
Which is the point of the show.
Absolutely. That, and to, maintain a friendship where people normally wouldn't be able to, because as men, we have to have a project. So let's see. So the tour, it was 1974. I think we covered a lot of it. In fact, I think we probably covered this specifically on that episode, but that was like 3 years ago. So,
and the previous one, yeah.
So let's say that's covered.
Okay, great. All right.
Yeah, the end. Goodbye.
Episode's almost over, folks.
Okay. No, I think let's see. Tour is in Canada. New band, started assembling a new band. Yeah, we got into all that, didn't we? I think we did. Okay.
Well, yeah. So, yeah, we had Luther Vandross and Ava Cherry, and we had
David Sanborn,
getting bored with what he was doing and saying, "Oh, well, we're halfway through the tour. Let's do a different tour."
Yeah, and David Sanborn came along, and my parents told me how much I loved him, and you heard the episode.
Oh yeah.
So cocaine, we are right at the very edge of the pinnacle of peak cocaine.
But not peak David Sanborn.
Not peak Sanborn, not one bit. He was heavily using cocaine quite a bit. It was kind of, this is the beginning of possibly, unless there's some part of his biography that I don't know about, most likely we can say this was the darkest period of his life that we're getting into. Station to Station. It's an album I love, but
is that an album?
Shit, it's an album.
Okay.
It's the one after this.
Oh no.
Oh my God, are you in for a ride?
You told me I was in for a ride for this one, and I like it.
I know. I'm telling you, things, as far as I'm concerned, things stay good until they get bad, and we're a few albums away from that. And I'm pretty sure you already know where I think that is.
I've heard some songs.
Like this one? Actually, that one's not terrible.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Bowie had some financial problems, mainly due to his management company, Main Man, which we've known so much about. They were spending a ton of money. And so he basically did what any self-respecting person would do. He left the country. He went to America.
Oh, that country. Okay.
Yeah. The American dream is avoiding taxes, and that's exactly what he did. I'm not trying to imply that he was, I mean, look, he was getting profoundly ripped off by Bad Tony. So I suspect it was more like okay, I'm out. Like, you deal with it. I'm not going to be involved.
Hey, I mean, Roger Moore, James Bond himself, moved to Monaco for tax issues. So,
Hmm.
I mean,
I-
America is almost as exotic and cool as Monaco,
Parts of it.
right?
I hear Florida's nice.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Oh, Florida. So many fake religions.
Oh, Florida. All right. So he started shifting to American soul and R&B, which
I
we've
just
discovered.
alienated like three of our listeners.
That's fine. We only
Okay.
have three, so we're
Okay.
good. We're gonna
Oh,
talk.
great.
We're gonna have to just. I guess we have. I guess I have to talk about the Beatles again.
This makes things easier. Okay. All right.
Speaking of Beatles, that's gonna come in handy later.
Oh no.
Um,
I don't actually want to know. I know where you're going.
I know where.
This is
Yeah.
how the show is constructed, and I've been waiting for this for like 2 months.
Right. So, okay, let's get some background out there. We've both been waiting to record this episode for a while, and it hasn't happened for various reasons. I'm taking like 95% of the blame for that. And
I'll take some of the blame for last week when my house was almost on fire.
right, when you set your house on fire just to get out of
Just to
playing,
avoid talking
just to-
about this.
Right. I won't get into it, but hey, like I said, make sure you're taking care of yourselves, everybody.
Arson is real.
Yes. So we have been in this weird place where, and Eric, I don't know that you are fully aware of this phenomenon that has been happening in our heads,
Phenomenon?
which is
Phenomenon?
Anyway, it's been happening in our heads where this album, I don't want to say it's a throwaway album because it's not, but
Clearly.
it's one of the weird ones. And by weird one, I don't mean like in a bad way. It's just like
Not everybody's going to like it.
and it's not even that. It's just that like there throughout his career, like how like there's a trend going and then pinups happens and it fits, but it's like that's weird. But then like pinups was kind of like it was intended to be a throwaway, but then it was also like he was also doing something with it. This one, I don't feel like it was intended to be a throwaway, but like I think in a career trajectory like this, there's naturally going to be little points where it's like, how did that get there? But
Okay.
like within context, it makes sense. Like if you think about David Live, this album makes sense. And then from this album to Station kind of also makes sense, but Station to Station ends up kind of becoming another trajectory that
Okay.
So there's these little albums and this is purely my own opinion, of course. There's these albums here and there and this is one of them where it's like, that one's kind of, I mean, it's not to say good or bad. It's just that one definitely stands out as like a pause of, okay, I'm doing this now. And then move on.
Okay.
And I think Lodger kind of does that as well later. And
apparently that's an album. Great.
That is an album. So I guess the point I'm getting to and not focusing on very well is that we have been marinating in this album, which I find very interesting because most people don't marinate in this album as long as we have.
Huh. Okay.
You know what I mean? Meaning that it's like, I don't think your average Bowie fan or Bowie curious person spends a month or months with Win or Right in their head over and over again.
Well, I mean, our mutual friend really likes this album. and pointed out a song that I completely agree is a fantastic song and is not one of the 2 singles from this album.
We'll get into how we feel about the singles
But
from the
but
album.
I've also heard some of that person's thoughts about different songs where I went, "Oh no, what is this? Why would you do this? Oh wait, I'm doing a podcast about David Bowie. Great, I have to learn why this song exists."
We'll get into more of that in our Never Let Me Down episode, I think. So anyway, that's kind of, for me, the elephant in the room. And it's been very interesting having like this like constant reflection of this album that I kind of haven't really spent that much time with until now. So anyway,
but
that's
because
just
we've been putting this off for a while for various reasons, you keep listening to it like once every other week.
You're right about there, or at the very least, because I've listened to the catalog so many times, like it's almost like running the Haunted Mansion spiel in your head. Like you could just do it, you know?
Okay.
So like even somebody up there likes me, a song that I've spent relatively less time with compared to the rest of his catalog. It's been note for note in my head for like a week now.
But saying that, even for me, that makes me think somebody.
Right. So yeah, it's a welcome thing, but it's also it's weird and I like it. So anyway, we got that. Soul's happening, R&B's happening. Tell you what's not happening. Bad Tony's not happening anymore.
No.
Yeah. I like that you act surprised, even though it's clearly right there. So again, I'm sure that there's something out there that says this is what happened, this is how it happened, but I have yet to find that thing. All that I've found is that it seems like what I'm putting together here is that I think Bowie kind of had a moment where he was like, you motherfucker, like you're not paying the band. It caused strain. It had like this is a pattern.
Obvious. That was a big one.
Like here's this pattern, and at the same time, like you're getting into all this tax problems over here.
How can we be out of money and then I also have to pay a band out of my own pocket?
Right. Like I think in a moment of like profound lucidity, he was just like, I'm out. This guy is a piece of trash. I can do this on my own and whatever. I think he went on to find other management, but later he kind of learned that like management in this area is kind of just always going to be exploitive. So maybe not. So yes, he started to let's see, Bowie initiated legal proceedings against Mayman to end their management contract, eventually securing more control. What isn't included here is that he started to have to fight with DeFreeze over the control of his back catalog for some time. And that took a very long time to resolve, and that's coming up later on Bowiesplaining.
Sometime, yeah. That's a callback.
Ooh.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So he loves him some American soul and R&B. We've known that for a while. We knew that.
Tony or David?
Oh, sorry, David Bowie. Tony is fired.
Good. Whew.
Yeah, Tony's gone. We only have good Tony left, and that's great.
He's like, you can fire me, but please, the next one needs to be R&B.
David, baby, let me tell you. Let's see. So he loves that R&B, he loves that American soul, but I think that he really, really, really started to love it more when he toured America and was given more exposure, more direct exposure to it. He was already making references to some of the instrumentation in Diamond Dogs, as everybody knows. So yeah, he's this like super European dude, but he has a very strong attachment to this music. And so like and I think we've noted before that it's like really kind of cool and impressive that like this dude walks up and he's just like, "Hi, I'm aggressively British, and now I'm going to sing soul like anyone can."
Right. Do, do you think this is a problem? Because I'd like to do that, and you can help me.
Right, right. So this album, Young Americans, he kind of knew that it would be, I don't want to say a problem, but people would, especially in the mid 70s, probably, I mean, look, there's no Eminem, there's no, like there, this was a line that was not crossed often and not crossed well.
So we're going into the this is black music
Yes.
area.
Yes.
And but I mean, this is the same time period when Led Zeppelin and when the Rolling Stones were being more obvious that a lot of their influences came from American
obvious
blues, right?
Obvious, but not like overt and explicit to where it's like,
Okay.
I'm going to go to the soul studio and I'm going to let the soul producer tell me how to make a soul album.
It wasn't like, let's invite that black man with a harmonica to play with us.
Right. And let's make sure he wears the hat so that everybody understands that he's old and we should revere him.
Oh gosh. Yeah. He'll be dead soon. We better get him on now.
Yeah. Like it's different
because he's old. I don't want people to think, I don't know what else they could think.
I love when we get to these places.
This is early for these places.
I know. We're jumping right in. Maybe we should record less frequently. We're actually staying on track a little bit.
All right. All right, join us next time where we're going to do a different album that Dan hasn't told me about yet. Thanks, everybody.
Ooh, that'd be fun.
$2, one for each of us.
So I think Bowie kind of knew that, like, I mean, yeah, he's coked up, but he's smart, right? That's the thing that a lot of people miss with this time period. He's still involved. He's still passionate, but he's coked out of his mind, right? So like, he's crazy, but not like crazy, So he's able to look at this and be able to say to himself, like, well, people really shouldn't give a shit, but they will. So
yeah, what an interesting time where he's not the only person to have been heavily on drugs at the time.
No. But he was one of the best.
Yeah, he managed to do something more than just, it's me, but louder.
Right. So he kind of referred to it kind of jokingly, but also kind of seriously as like plastic soul, kind of playing with the rubber soul idea that one band did.
Say,
yeah,
some other band thought of that one.
Yeah, can't think of their name. So
new pornographers? Oh no, they're too new.
So he kind of took that idea and I think doubled down on it in a way where it's just like, yeah, no, fuck you. This is plastic soul. Like this isn't rubber. And
it's admitting plastic does have a little bit more of an implication to it. Like, I shouldn't be doing this, but
right,
I'm doing it and it's going to be good.
And actually, he was initially very dismissive of this album. He kind of just saw it as like, whatever, let's try it. I don't know how good it is as a soul. He was for a long time very insecure about this album as a soul album, as a soul fan, to the point where he would even say like, yeah, I refuse to listen to that. But later on, he started to come around to it to be like, yeah, it's still a little cringy, but I see the appeal,
Okay.
I mean, it would make sense, right? When you're going into this direction that feels so off limits to you, to kind of always be this, like, have this feeling of like, yeah, I hear I get how you think it works, but it just didn't it's not what I wanted it to be, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So yes, we have new musicians. We talked about some of them. I think we talked about all of them. Man, we really backed ourselves into a corner on this one. Let's pretend we didn't. Earl Slick comes along. He's a guitar guy. He also people who play the guitar. You got Carlos Alomar. He sticks around until, well, he kind of comes and goes, but from this point until Scary Monsters and probably beyond, he's around. I'm almost positive he abandoned ship by tonight, which was a really good move for him.
Okay.
Anyone else who abandoned ship for that shitty ass album?
Oh, good.
Spoilers. Look, I'll undo the spoiler. The real mission when we get to that period is which is worse, tonight or Never Let Me Down. It's a debate that has haunted the forums for years.
Please write in. The more dollars you spend, the more we'll accept your apology.
So, Carlos Alomar, he's a rhythm guitarist. I don't know if you've caught on to you're a guitar person yourself, so maybe you caught on to what he was doing a little bit better than I have. But
I really like what's going on, and for the most part, I haven't looked into the musicians because that's how we do this. Even though it was tempting, but I definitely clocked Mike Garson and David Sanborn.
Mm-hmm. Well, if you haven't looked into the musicians, I should let you know that Luther Vandross went on to have a solo career of his own.
Well, I'm aware of Luther Vandross. Thank you. We talked about him last album, like you said.
I know.
I'm like, oh gosh, that's a person I know. Ava Cherry, wow, major disco success, and apparently doing David Bowie. Hey, why not?
In several different ways, yes.
Yeah. No, I was going for the other way.
Oh, okay.
In that statement.
Got it. Yeah, and they I think we got into this a little bit in previous episodes. He was really focused on trying to put together like a soul group that was set that like she was kind of central to, but eventually it just became like, hey, I'm going to make a soul album now. And I don't know for sure. I have nothing to back this up other than just like educated guesses and stuff I've kind of put together. Hey, that's the same thing. Is that are you familiar with the David Byrne album Ray Momo?
Huh. When you said David Byrne, I'm like, yes. Oh, no.
You aren't.
No, what album is that one?
Hold on. Iman, if you're listening, please give us the rights to David Byrne as well. Thank you.
Or at least get us in touch with his publicist.
This is a little thing called Make Believe Mambo. Hold on, let me get it down to where it's not going to trigger anything. There we go.
What year is this business?
92-ish?
We've just been deauthorized on...
Bye, YouTube. Sorry.
Bye. No, you can still listen to us on YouTube. We just can't make money from it, which is fine. We don't make money from it anyway.
We make money from our Bitcoin.
I just made $400,000 yesterday.
Damn.
Yeah. Thank you, Bitcoin.
So this is a David Byrne album. And the way that he made this entire album was he said, I'm going to make a Latin album. And the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to bring my own lyrics, my own sensibilities, my own, chord progressions. I'm going to bring all of myself to it. And then I'm going to hand it over to the production staff and the musicians. And I'm going to say, now tell me how to make a Latin album out of this.
Oh, so he just sat down and he's like, this might sound like a great mambo song.
Well, yeah, I think
he's like, somebody give me some backup.
I think what he in fact, I'm pretty sure, because I remember reading it, what he recognized early on in making it was that the best thing for him to do was to like basically recognize that, like, oh, a mambo actually has features to it. There are certain things that certain instruments do in a mambo.
Mhm.
Instead of disrupting this, let me just say, okay, we're going to make this a mambo. And then he's the starting point and the like finishing point. It's kind of like it's in a way kind of like dealing with AI, where you're like, okay, I need to give a really, really good, I need to think about the generative thing I'm going to give it. And then
here's the audience. Here
right.
are the things that I want you to do, but here's the stuff that I'm going to put in. You just make up the rest.
Right. And then it spits it out, and you're able to look at it and go, okay, now here are some things that I think need to change about that. But it's not, but it never goes against the like he doesn't unmambo it. He just kind of adds extra layers of David Byrne to the mambo on the front and the back end.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes, I'm getting it.
Okay. I'm very
Listener,
bad at
if you're not getting it, please write into Dan at Bowiesplaining.org.
Yeah.
And if you are getting it, please write into David Bowie at Bowiesplaining.org.
Wait, it's teenagewildlife.org.
I don't know.
David Bowie at teenagewildlife.org is already
yeah, good point. Yeah. Thank you.
Which is awesome.
I should check that email address. Has anybody written in yet? Please call
in 856. If you emailed, call in on some space age music, because it's email. It's electronic mail, everybody. Oh, Mr. Robot. Here we go.
Oh, less.
Less is more.
This is one of Les's weirder albums.
Welcome to the future, where you too can write in to your favorite podcast. By the way, it just occurred to me that since you're new to the future, you don't know what a podcast is. I'm now going to explain it. You know how the radio is a thing that you like listen to?
Of course.
Now imagine if you had a VCR for your radio. Okay, 1 second. A VCR is a video cassette recorder. Now, in the future, there's also going to be something called a television, and it's like a radio, except it has pictures. And it's going to be great. And then they're going to make a machine that will watch the TV for you and then record it. And then you will then record over that recording over and over. And and that's what a VCR is. It watches the TV for you so that you never have to watch the TV. So, okay, let's go back to the idea of a podcast. It's sort of like it's so take the VCR idea, except you're actually going to watch it. And that's a podcast, but like for radio. In the future,
I mean, you could watch it on YouTube. You can
watch it on YouTube.
Some people do.
Now, YouTube is a place where people can put video. Now, videos are things.
Yeah, please explain videos.
That go on the TV, and at some point, you're going to be able to make things that go on the TV, and then you will make people watch them, and it will be very amusing. And people will say,
do they have to?
Well, social niceties, yes, they will feel obligated.
They're compelled. Okay.
And then they will laugh politely, and you will take that polite response to mean that you need to share the videos with everybody. That's where YouTube comes in. YouTube will be that. And then you may be, I don't know, like the nostalgia critic or something, and you start like touching people inappropriately. That's YouTube.
Oh, don't do that, please.
Okay. I've explained
appropriately is fine.
I've explained all of technology now.
If they've Hey, did you know Teenage Wildlife is a song written by David Bowie in 1980?
I sure do.
We're almost there.
Oh, God. Do we have email? Or...
No, most of it is something that bounces back because I have something set to admin at teenagewildlife.net, which doesn't exist.
All right. Well, this episode's also brought to you by Mailer Damon. Not an actual demon, but close.
No, it's a daemon. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Enough of that tomfoolery. So we got no email. Okay. David Sanborn.
Yeah, no.
Saxophone guy. We've talked a lot about him.
We love Dave. Yeah.
Luther Vandross. Hold on.
You could say Vandross, but I don't think he would like that. But you know what? He's no longer with us, so
Luther,
you can't
say
ask him.
Whatever the fuck you want then, right?
I mean, yeah. Gone too soon.
Pronunciation. Let's see.
Luther Vandross.
Oh, wow. Gross. Wow. Okay. I'm wrong.
Here's the slow version.
Luther Vandross.
I'm glad he can't beat me up anymore.
Let's get someone else explaining it to us.
46 seconds.
And I listened to Luther Vandross and Shaka Khan. That was my celebration.
Body in this country, on this soil here, Luther Vandross, and now.
Vandross. I'm hearing a lot of Vandross.
Yeah.
Vandross.
So that's two for Dross, one for Dross.
Have done a lot of TV work.
Atlantic famously. Later on, she made incredible music with Curtis Mayfield and with Luther Vandross. But as Luther Vandross said,
two
and two. That, she was.
So let's go with something a little bit more sensible. How about the Luther Burger, the supposed creation of Mr. Luther Vandross himself?
That's three. That's two. Three for Vandross. Two. Oh, I guess Vandross wins.
Okay.
Luther
Mostly white people, but okay.
Yeah, but I mean, we kind of get to decide.
We're white people.
Yeah,
it's fine.
I mean, really, it's the spoils go to the victors, right?
No.
I'm sorry, everybody. So Luther
Please
Van.
No. How do I log into this email?
I'm just counting on everybody's ability to catch irony. Let's see. So Luther Vandross was introduced to Bowie through Carlos Alomar, and they
is that how you pronounce?
All right, hold on.
No, thanks. No, don't.
Okay. So they came to really appreciate each other. He contributed to vocal arrangements, which was kind of a nice thing for Bowie to be like, "Hey, cool, you got that. All right." And I think that I didn't really finish my thought with the David Byrne thing. I feel like, and I could be wrong, I feel like with a lot of this, Bowie brought in, okay, here's my interests, here's what I've written, here's what I'm thinking about, here's a direction to go in. And when it came to like, how do we actually make a soul album? My hunch is that he kind of stood back and was like, okay, you do that part, I'm going to do the Bowie part, but not like a completely passive thing, more just like, okay, I'm not going to step on anybody's toes here, kind of thing. Luther Vandross, they both contributed to songs like Young Americans and Fascination, which is also Takes a Part of Me, and it was an adaptation. Show enough, indeed. By the way, when I scheduled my I'm gonna say what it was after so that it's funnier. When I scheduled a certain thing that Dr. Fauci inflicted on all of us on my calendar, I put on the calendar vaccination show enough, and it amused me greatly. Still does. I really amuse myself a lot.
Well, that was great. Yeah. I vaguely liked that.
That's all I need. So Fascination was a rework of a song by both Luthers, the Luther brothers, Luther Vandross and Vandross, called Funky Music is a Part of Me, which I tried to say out of rhythm, but it's hard not to. Let's see. He also, Eccles tour, okay, he did all that. And they ended up maintaining that's why I did this. They maintained a close friendship and personal relationship, and they collaborated on the song Underground from Labyrinth later on.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hey, according to our website, Cialis Replacement.
Oh,
Cialis Replacement. That's all they really should give us more information.
Is that an instruction?
Sorry, everybody.
Is that an instruction or an advertisement?
I don't know.
Are they, is it assuming that, is our own website assuming that we have problems in this area and we need to replace our Cialis?
This is somebody writing from Cialsis.com.
Ooh. So, that sounds reputable.
Yeah, in response to one of our posts, it was Cialis Replacement as the subject, and the body is Cialis Replacement.
Wait. Hold on. We need
yes, please. We need to make this more informational.
Yeah. Wait. Stop. Wait. Hold on. I know just the thing.
Okay. There we go.
Nope. Nope, not that.
Nope, not that one.
Hold on. Wait, I'm going in a direction.
Lady's yellow. I mean,
she sure is. All right, go for it.
According to Cialsis.com, Cialis Replacement. Mm-hmm. And on a different post, Cialis Every Day is the subject, and the body of the message is Cialis Every Day.
Cialis all day. Cialis every day. Cialis love user.
So that was for Ziggy Stardust side B. If you look at Ziggy Stardust side A,
okay, hold on.
You will find Cialis not working is the subject.
Oh no.
And the body reads Cialis not working. All of this from Cialsis.com. Cialsis.com, everybody. Please don't go there.
I feel like that's our first sponsor.
It's our first sponsor.
And that's our ad read right there.
Cialsis.com. Cialssis.com, everybody. Please don't go there. They don't pay us.
And if you do, tell them to pay us. And also tell them to tell them on to give us the rights to the music.
Upgrade to pro status at Cialsis.com.
That's delightful. Okay, so let's get to the recording. It was recorded at Sigma Sound Studios in Philadelphia. It took about 10 days.
Oh, good. 10 whole days. That's the mark of an album right there. I don't know. How long do you think it should take? We're already done.
This is a trend, and I don't know how to frame it exactly.
Well, I mean, he was at least at the same studio. The previous album, he just was running into studios and going, "Quick, record a song before they notice we're here."
Yeah, well, his process, as he, refined it and worked with it and started to learn, like, okay, I can kind of it's actually good to relinquish control and give into some like chance elements and kind of just follow whatever happens.
Uh-huh.
Like you can record over the tapes, right? Just like we talked about with the VCR, like nothing's precious. So let's just like let everything fly and then we'll kind of piece it together and see what happens. And for him, I think that ended up becoming a very good way of like, I don't like that lightning in a bottle phrase, but sort of that like, okay, I have a lot of energy for this idea and I know I'm going to lose the energy for this idea because I have fucking wicked ADHD And so like, let's just take mountains of cocaine together and we're going to fucking do this. But not in like an urgent sort of, I feel
that
like
level of belief is pretty fantastic. Just manifesting this album, saying, "No, we can do this. We can do it." Did we do it yet? Oh, we did. Okay, great. Let's go home.
Well, it's like, not to overly reference the other podcasts or anything, but there are times when like the three of us for the Supreme Resort will show up and we're like, I don't know what we have, but we're just going to like work through it. We're going to support each other's ideas. And then by the end of the episode, it ends up being at least fun for us. And that's all that really matters. Right.
That's fair. Yeah.
So, they did do some pickup work, in New York. Can you guess what songs they did the pickup work for in New York where a certain someone might have lived?
Well, that's going a little bit too far for me. I don't know.
Are you familiar with one Mr. John Lennon?
I've heard of. Oh no! Wait, he's involved in this album?
Yes.
I thought Bowie just did like a stupid cover. Oh no!
It gets worse.
oh, my fourth favorite Beatle.
Yeah. So, you know, you move to America to get away from Bad Tony, and you're sort of developing, you know, some following, some respect. Some of your heroes start to respect you and reach out to you. And, you know, let's say one of them happens to be John Lennon, who's not, you know, that thing that happened. He's still around. And he's like, David, I really like what you, my John Lennon was never good, but it's worse.
That's particularly bad. Yeah.
Let's say he's Australian. Okay. John Lennon as the Sultan. Oh, David. I love what you're doing. And then Bowie's like, wow, you're fucking John. Let's hang out, man. I'm all coked up. Let's hang out. I just love that you love what I'm doing. And then you're like, I know what we should do. We should cover Across the Universe.
Everyone's favorite John song. Yeah.
And then he did.
Not number 9.
No. I mean,
okay. All right. Moving on. All right.
And so John also
some
co-wrote
things being revealed to me here that I deliberately didn't look at, and I probably could have found fairly easily.
It never occurred to me that you wouldn't have thought of that, but
I don't look at this stuff.
No, yeah, right. I mean,
so I can be surprised by crap like this.
Because to me, it's just so much a part of the DNA of the album. It's like, oh yeah, then he did Across the Universe because he wanted to like pay tribute to John Lennon by doing a very bad version of that song.
Why else?
Because they recorded Fame together, which you did know that, right, ahead of time?
No.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no. John Lennon and Bowie co-wrote Fame, and if you listen closely, here, hold on.
Okay. I mean, that's a good song.
I would say it's not a bad song.
I like the song.
I don't dislike it. It's just it's one of those that it's kind of similar to Space Oddity for me, where it's just like, I get it. Listen for a certain John Lennon. And I'm going to keep talking so that we don't get spanked.
I mean, YouTube's already cut us off, so we're fine.
Okay.
You don't have
Does Spotify not care?
I mean, they're not going to take us off the air. I mean, they're worse abominations.
Oh, so it's just about monetization.
Yeah, I mean, YouTube's never going to pay us anyway. It's fine.
well, they can go fuck themselves. You hear that, YouTube?
Oh, now.
Okay, here we go. Listen. You hear John Lennon in the back?
That doesn't sound like John Lennon. I mean,
John.
It could be John Lemon for all I know.
It's Don Lemon from CNN.
Obviously, that's how we got his start. Hey, here's an email from a fan.
Is it John
Lennon? No, it's Tom from Podetize. Hey there, podcaster. It's Tom from Podetize. I'm not going to tell you exactly what he shared with us because that's a trade secret, but he ends the email with, if I shared this strategy with you, would you be interested in something like that? Tom Hazard. Let me write back. No, Tom, you didn't share anything with me. We did not gain 70% more listeners in the last 90 days.
You should invite him to join our Patreon.
Please join our Patreon. And increase our followership by 1%.
Ask him if he wants to be a guest. See if he wants to watch The Man Who Fell to Earth with us.
There we go. Tom H at podetize.co. That's not even a real name.
Tom? I know several Toms.
Tom H.
Oh, Tom. Yeah, that's not fair. That's
at podetize.co. Yeah, who writes from CO? I don't know if I'm going to respond to this guy that way.
Now, .biz. If you give me a .biz, then we're talking.
Yeah, most of this is spam anyway, so I might as well respond to him.
That's a good policy for spam. Just respond to all of them.
Yeah.
So we recorded the some of the songs at the Electric Lady Studios because basically the cool kids on campus were like, "Hey, have lunch with us," And
John was like, "I can get you in."
Yeah, and I mean,
okay.
So many mixed feelings. I do find it interesting, though, that they co-wrote Fame at this point in both of their careers, because Fame is definitely an anti-love letter to Tony Visconti, I think.
Okay.
Fair. Yeah, and I think that at this point, if I remember correctly, John Lennon was not especially pleased with what it meant to be a celebrity.
But John wasn't a celebrity anymore because he wasn't a Beatle, so nobody cared.
Yeah, nobody cares about him. Because he's not a Beatle. No, that's true. John Lennon famously became...
When he signed that piece of paper at the Polynesian resort,
right,
he stopped being a celebrity and everybody stopped listening to him.
Faded into obscurity and nobody talks about him anymore. God. I'm not. We don't need to do Dan Hates the Beatles. Album art. The original idea was to have a painting by Norman Rockwell.
Fun.
Just like some painting. But then they went with a photograph inspired by a portrait of Tony Basil. I think it's Basil. Hold on. I'm not going to look up the pronunciation.
Is she one of the Tonys in Tony?
That would be awesome. Let's see. I would just based
Probably
on this,
not.
I would think not. Let's see if
Mickey.
I can. Let's see. Where's the picture? It's probably based on. As everybody knows, podcasting is a visual medium. I can't find it, but I believe that she would have done that sort of a post. Another fun thing, famous charlatan and my former hero, David Sylvian.
Tony Basil did Hey Mickey.
Are you still coming to terms with that?
Yes. You all know the song, and now we're done talking about that.
Look familiar?
Oh, Mickey, you're so fine, David Sylvian.
See
Okay.
any? Yeah.
Yeah, look at that guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
You know, anyone who knew that David Sylvian was a charlatan around Red Guitar time period, good catch. It took me longer.
I still don't get it. So, we're good. We're even.
Want to hear some shitty David Sylvian?
No, it's fine. Let's keep going.
Sure? Okay.
We got a lot of show left to do.
Okay.
Probably. Presumably.
Actually, we are ready to get into the side B territory.
Oh, side B. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Listener, if you want our side A to be longer and more rambling and more distracting and weirder as it has been in other episodes, I know this sounds like a joke, but please let us know, because I think I've tried to, knowing that we will distract ourselves, I think I've tried to minimize the inclusion of distractions. But let's see what I got in the old video thing here.
Is there anything about the Mellotron? No, it doesn't look like it.
We have a harmonizer. Sign someone's high on cocaine. That
signs that somebody is high on coke. How do you know if somebody's actually using coke? If they're high on coke. My name is Eric. I'm a recovering cocaine alcoholic addict. I used to do 1 to 2 8 balls of coke a day for a couple of years. I drink 2 to 3 fifths of vodka a day.
Different Eric from this Eric.
Cocaine addiction, or if you're curious if somebody's high on coke, here's the easiest ways to tell if somebody's high on this drug. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. Love to have you along for the journey. What's up, guys? My name is Eric, and I'm a recovering cocaine alcoholic addict. I wanted to make a video because a lot of times people don't realize when people are high on coke. And coke is a drug out there that, in my opinion, is one of the most dangerous drugs. It was my drug of choice just because of the stigma around it, that this was like the miracle drug, that it's a rich drug. You're not going to go downhill with this drug, and this drug.
Ooh, hold on. I have
When you said Dawn, I wondered if that's where you were going.
Yep.
Like, there's some of them are like, we don't even want white women. Like,
this is not sped up, by the way. Like, not at all. This is him talking to J.D. Vance, future vice president of this great American country.
What he's done.
Like, there's some of them are like, we don't even want white women. Like, it doesn't, like, we need to check like 3 or 4 boxes so you can end up in, like, if you're like, a trans communist, this, that, and the other, like, you too.
Okay, pause it for 1 second.
Okay, I'll pause it. Hold on. Here we go. He's back. Here we go.
Not speed this up. We have not put it through the high-tech majority
report
from audio filter.
Majority report with Sam Cedar.
Like, there's some of them are like, we don't even want white women. Like, it doesn't, like, we need to check like 3 or 4 boxes so you can end up in, like, if you're like, a trans communist, this, that, and the other.
This guy's going to be president in 2028.
Of a Fortune 500 company with no experience whatsoever.
I thought it was going to be Byrne. They were just going to skip over Junior.
I was a billionaire, and 15 years ago when I said it, people used to shit all over me. Like, what are you talking about? I'm like, you don't understand. And now they understand. But the border song.
Oh, Vance can't keep up.
The article. It wasn't even like it was
surprising.
The same publication. It was the same journalist. I'm like, this you?
Donald Trump Jr.
literally saved
was
democracy.
a dolphin.
It's literally at risk, JD. That's why I keep the notion that democracy is all things, but if the elite, meaning Barack Obama, the Clintons, a couple billionaire donors be like, okay, this isn't working. We're going to take everything.
I had to explain this to my wife.
Awesome. Ziggy. Hold on. All right.
Oh, Ziggy.
I think that, hold on. Anything else
guitar.
that we need to get into? You want a little taste of Angie Bowie talking about David Bowie being on cocaine?
Let's hear what Angie has to say.
My husband had seen my performance on the Mike Douglas show, he told me, and had written a new song for me, Golden Years.
Oh, no, that's later. Okay, sorry.
Oh, no.
Can't give you spoilers.
Now I know about Golden Years.
You know that it's a thing that exists. I think that's the end of side A.
Okay. Thanks for joining us, everybody.
Stick around for the next part, which is side B, because that's how the alphabet works. If you would like for me to put on some more Les Baxter music and explain the alphabet to you, write in to David Bowie at teenagewildlife.net. We'll catch you on side B.